Hello everyone and welcome to episode 33. You might be noticing a more upbeat, positive intro into the video. That's because in real time I'm back to spending my time editing videos and sailing. So yeah, and I've made a new intro and I'm really excited to press play on it. So let me know what you think of the intro. I hope you enjoy the episode and I'll see you at the end of the video.
So, just got into bed while I was laid here for a little bit, and then the wind that hasn't come seems to have come now, and I can hear it gusting as well. Like you can hear it kind of coming over and then going, and then you can hear the waves that it's making, like hitting the boat, like not massively because the waves themselves can only build so much, but the wind's actually quite strong. I don't have a wind reader, but you can normally hear that it's gusting quite a bit more than it's ever gusted while I've been at anchor before, so I'm just gonna have to hope it holds, but I'm tired, so I was just about falling asleep, and then I heard like the first wave like come over. Yeah, I don't have any lights do I in the boat, so that's I've just got this little like torch thing, which is hurting my eyes. But yeah, I'm just gonna have to hope the boat holds. But it's one of them, do I watch it all night? But I don't know. It keeps raining on and off too. I've got a bit of a headache as well, so yeah, we'll see what happens. So another morning, and again I've forgotten now what morning I'm on. I'd have to work out. But I just wanted to show you my garden this morning because it's for the first time. Look at this.
Ready? So this is how we transfer things boat to boat. As a net set up, we're just sending him a net, but it don't weigh out, so we're putting an orange in it. Ready? Yeah. Oh, that was my fault. I've done a terrible throw there. So on the menu today we have, in there we've got some boiled potatoes, some red onion and some mixed herbs, so that's going to be a mash. And then in the pan over there we have some corned beef. So we're going to have like a corned beef mash and gravy. I just need to get my gravy fixed, so we're only using like half a can of corned beef, and the corned beef was like $2.50. Potatoes, onions, really easy, cheap boat meal, and it gets my gravy fix. I'm also going to put a bit of garlic powder in that mash too, so I'll show you when it's done. So So I added a few peas to the mash, and then you just pour the gravy and corned beef over the top. Make sure to get all the corned beef in there. And there you have it. There's today's meal sorted. Some bread would be nice with that, but I don't have any left. Okay, so I've forgotten which number morning it is, so I'm going to have to post it up here. The last 2 days I didn't film much, apart from what I was eating for my tea every day. But we're a fair few days into Anchor now. It's the 24th. I can't remember exactly what date I came out here, but have we been out here a week now, maybe? It's hard to tell, you lose time out here. Anyway, 3 days I've not been to land at all. No, sorry, the last 2 days I've not been to land at all. Just on the boat. It was sunny yesterday, so that weren't too bad. But the last 2 days I've not recorded much, and quite often on this channel I say how I'm just surviving, and I think sometimes I'm a little bit harsh to myself, because what we've done is, yeah, for the first few days of coming out here, we thought the house battery on the boat wasn't working. I thought the solar panel had broke. To be honest, I'll be honest, what I did, I tried to wire it direct into the battery to give it a bit of a boost, and I thought what I'd then done is broken the solar panel. If you're looking behind me, you're right, I've managed to, or started to, build an arc for the solar panel, because before it was just here on the back of the boat and it weren't really ideal. And what we've now got is room that we can add a second solar panel. So at the end of the month, priority is going to be get a second solar panel added on there now. But the thing I wanted to tell you is, in the last 2 days, while not recording much, I have got now the house battery up to 13.4 at the minute. So it was a slow process. I take back what I said about the Victron energy charge controller. I realised what I did. It weren't working, probably because the battery was too flat at the time, and there was a little strip that I just thought was meant to be pulled out. It looks like it should be pulled out, and it's actually where you can connect the Bluetooth dongle to it so that you can get it on your phone. It turns out it's that strip that controls the load. So the reason that it was charging the other day when I got the solar panel working again, it was charging the battery, but it just wouldn't allow me to use the load. So that's why that little strip controls it, and I shouldn't have pulled it out. But yeah, so I take it back about that anyway. I don't take it back about the battery monitor I brought with a flimsy display, but for the solar controller I take it back. It probably is fine. However, that said, the cheap one I've got is doing as good a job, to be honest. It's charging the solar panel now. The first day I got the solar panel working, it was actually a problem inside the one of these that I've never had disconnected, so I weren't really expecting a problem to be in there. There's one that I did have to reconnect when something broke. There's actually the other one, but what I did was got the multimeter, worked out that it was, I had like 25 watts or volts coming through, but then from the two bare ones on the solar panel, or from the back panel on the solar panel, we dropped the bottom of that in the water. So it's not all been good, but mostly good. But then when it was getting to the connectors on the solar controller, it was only showing like 1, so that's why it weren't lighting up. So the first thing we did was we got this solar panel so it was working, and then the guys over on this boat here, super nice people, like they've been here for the week, they've let me use their internet that they've got on the boat, and they've honestly just made my last week so much easier. So thank you to Maria and Florence. You've been like a big help. And this alone, I was looking at how I was going to do one. I've never thought of like using these sort of scaffolding sort of tubes, but when I'm going to have to get a few more bits, but the definite majority of it was there to start it, so now I know how I can do that. So we got that built, we got the solar panel up on the top, and it was putting power into the battery, but very, very slowly. But then miraculously, all of a sudden, the red battery light on the solar controller turned to green, and I looked, and for the first time there was above 12 in there. There was like 12.4 in there. That then went up, but then as I was building this and the solar panel got unplugged, the battery dropped back down. And then on that night we put the lights on. The lights came on inside the boat, lasted for about 45 minutes and then cut off. That's a good thing though, because with the battery monitor I had before, it weren't doing that, it was just letting them run really low. So it cut out. So then yesterday we had another day of like full sun. During the day as well, I plugged the inverter, so it's not running off the engine one anymore, but running off the solar power battery, the battery that's the house battery that's now got the solar panel connected. And then that charged my laptop up, and then as I turned it off, the battery was still, as the sun went and this weren't charging anymore, the battery was still saying around 12.5, and then the lights actually lasted the night. I actually fell asleep with the lights on, woke back up at about 1 o'clock and the lights were still on, so that's good. This morning, by the time I got out of bed, the battery, and the solar panel fully charged my laptop yesterday as well. Then when I got back up this morning, it was showing 12.8. We've not really used it because we're just trying to let it see if it can get back up into the 13s, and I've just looked a minute ago and it's at 13.16. so we have managed, while being out here, to get power back onto the boat while at anchor. And there's something that feels really good about when you're not doing it plugged into a port and you get it sorted out while out at anchor without going onto land, because really that's what you've got to do a lot of the time. So apart from obviously having to get the boat taken out of the water, and maybe 1 week where I go plug the sander in and just do everything that I can for 1 week of like solid, get up at 7 in the morning, get to work on the boat, get all the bits I need, and then do all of them bits. I think add another solar panel, maybe another battery about the same size as the one I've got, and from there we're probably set to be at anchor. We do need to fix the toilet flush and add a holding tank really, because I won't go into that, but yeah. Also yesterday what we got done is I run a new wire. Found the problem was actually underneath, behind where the battery is. I can't get the camera in there, where the chart plotter and radio stopped working, so I've rewired a new wire around there. They're working again. I've rewired this outside chart plotter, that's working again. Everything else electric wise was probably working. The mast light's working. The two front lights I still need to do, but I need to get the boat taken out of the water, and I'm going to end up re-fiberglassing over the holes where there used to be like 2 plexiglass covers and the light was built in, which you might have seen in the previous video, but that just needs sorting properly. We did a temporary fix when we needed to move one day, but yeah, we've got quite a lot done. We pumped out the actual engine bilge below the engine, so the water's out of there. Today I'm going to get the floor panels up and get all the water that we built up over there while running the engine, but in theory I shouldn't need to run the engine now. And in direct sun later I'm going to try use the laptop for a bit and see how that goes. As I say, there's going to be some bad weather coming up, so I'm probably on them days going to then go over to land, go back to the library, and then catch up, as I say, with uploading the YouTube videos, so that I can get at a point where I don't need to have the laptop on for hours. It's as simple as uploading the footage, adding it to the week's episode that I'm doing, and going from there. But yeah, there's been quite a lot of views on the last video this week, so that's good. And yeah, today I'm going to just, now I've got a bit of motivation from this working, I'm gonna tidy the deck. I might reattach the Genoa and put it back out and just reassess how ripped it is, because I'm really struggling to find a replacement one, and see if it's repairable. I'm sure, I mean, when I took it down, it was ripped, it was blowing everywhere, I was a bit stressed. So if I put it back up on a calm day, see what the actual damage is and see if we can replace it until I can repair it, until I can find an alternative one. But yeah, we're surviving all right at anchor. I thought it was going to be a lot worse than it is. Don't get me wrong, these guys have helped, and it's not, it stopped me feeling like I was here alone. You know, having someone to shout over. The guy actually as well was fishing for anchors the other day, which gave me an idea, because they are everywhere. I saw quite a couple when I was in Thiel-Samer. My only issue is I'm not that good at swimming down, but there's probably anchors everywhere, and they found one. They put it up on Marketplace. They found like a really good Delta anchor, so they'll probably, I've seen the advert, I think they got it up for like 150 maybe. In time they'd probably get that, but even, you know, they'd get 100 because it comes with a lot of chain. And then they also pulled me one out, so thanks for that, which I can now, it's a pretty good one as well. I can use this now as a stern anchor, which I didn't have one before. It's got some chain as well, so that's good. If that was a bit heavier, it's probably better than my front anchor, but it's only 9, so it's not quite strong enough to, or heavy enough to hold my front, but useful to have a stern anchor, which I didn't have before. And then in other news, I've found a boat but I won't go into that too much, but I'm gonna go have a look at it, because it's like super cheap project, and I keep saying that I can do so much with this boat, but I've already done quite a lot. And if it was a case of I could sell this, have enough to get it and sort the engine that was broken on it afterwards, yeah, aesthetically it's not going to be as good as the work I've already done on mine. But yeah, I'm going to go have a look, because I've said from the start of this, you know, if I want to sail across the Atlantic and do all the things I want to do, having actually now sailed this and lived on it full time, I'm not saying it's impossible, because it really isn't. It's more just the design. Their boat is round about the same size, maybe a foot bigger, and I've been inside of it, and mine, I guess, is quite well suited if there's about 5 of you and you're having a day out at anchor or whatever. But when it comes to actually full-time cruising, there's a lot of parts of it that just aren't really practical. But I'm not saying for definite we're going to do that. I've just seen it, it's come up, and I'm going to go try have a look at it. But yeah, that's a 12-minute update of life out at anchor. Okay, so today's meal, we're going to have some tin mackerel curry, which I think you've probably seen before. Ow. But my boat neighbours, they're leaving tomorrow to Corsica, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook up, bear with me, enough for free, and see if they want to join, because, you know, they've been like super helpful, and, you know, whatever happens with this channel, if wherever I go, they'll be the first boat that like I've been at anchor with and got to know. So they might have other plans. It's the last night here before crossing to Corsica tomorrow, but I'll cook up free, and when they get back, because they're out at the minute, I will see if they want to join for some mackerel curry. So real time, that noise you can hear, the banging, that's the problem you get with mooring buoys. If the wind stops, you end up with a big ball next to your boat crashing into it. I'm going to look later how you prevent that, because it's beyond annoying. It sounds like someone's smashing on the side of the boat. Anyway, I just stopped the video there just to say, during this time at anchor, the one thing I could do is make videos of everything I was eating. Them videos are going to come. I've decided I'm not going to put every meal on these videos, because then, you know, sometimes it's like 10 minutes long and then the episodes just end up being too long. But I am going to then post them all. I'm not going to delete them yet. I'm going to post them all in a separate playlist. But there will be times I'm mentioning food, because at the time the plan was I was just going to do it. But now I'm looking back at the videos and I'm having to try edit them, I realised that I've just got like, all the time I was at Anchor, most of the footage I've got is like what I was eating. Whereas if I do it this way, I can go back and make a few episodes of what I ate for 2 months whilst at Anchor, basically. So yeah, if there keeps being food reference, I left this one in because obviously, I was it was relevant to like meeting the other people on the other boat. But if you do hear me referencing food and it's not in the videos, I am going to post some separate videos of what I ate whilst I was at Anchor. So we got the curry ready earlier. Then I went over to the beach because I needed to go to the shop. And then someone stopped me in the middle of the walk from here to the town. So I go in there on the dinghy, go over to there. And this is after a bit of an argument with a man who's going on about the kayak of the boat behind me, and why it was there. And it's like, if you can't just park your kayak in while you're out at Anchor, then anyway, had a bit of a to-do with a man on the beach. And then in the middle of walking from here over there, a woman stopped me asking if I spoke English, but I was still in the middle in my head of the argument with the man about the kayak, which weren't even my kayak. And so I was like, yes, I am English. Anyway, turns out when I was cooking in my trunks, they pulled in, her and the guy pulled in on a boat, and wondered what I was cooking and was curious if I had like a cooking like Instagram or something. So I was like, oh no, I was like a YouTube. And anyway, I was talking to him on the beach for about an hour and a half, and been invited to lunch. It's crazy how you meet people, honestly. Like, but yeah, it's weird. You go to a place for a few days and then, I'm not saying it's easy, because sometimes it's really not, but then sometimes out of nowhere, boom, there you are talking to a stranger on the beach. Anyway, I'm going over to these guys to have curry. They said they can only have a little drink because they're leaving at 7 in the morning, so that's fine. And I'm going to ask them if they want to have a camera on them, because if not, it doesn't matter. But it'd be quite nice, because it's the first people I've met properly out at Anchorage that are like I've seen when I've watched YouTube channels before, and it would just be really cool if then I do get over to Corsica and see them down there somewhere. But yeah, I'm going over there now. I'm just trying to work out how I'm going to take the curry in the pan, because I can't find the cling film anywhere. So been over to SV Rihanna, had a few drinks and a curry with them. It's a bit spicy for their liking, and I know they're gonna watch this, so honestly, like, just two really nice people. Like, they let me use the internet, and I can honestly say I'm a little bit sad they're going tomorrow. I don't know, it's nice when it's the first time as well where I've got up in the morning, what am I on about? Had a few wines, but it's nice just having another boat there, and on an evening going around and having a few wines and some food and talking about boat things and everything else. And they just genuinely are two nice people. And what's the best way I can describe it? I did a job for a lot of years where people I'd work with the whole year would like, we were like work colleagues, and they'd go to give a hug as they were going home or whatever, and these guys just both give me a hug as I was getting off the boat, because they've got to get up at 7 to cross over to Corsica. And I like them. Like, I hope they get there all right, and I'll genuinely be watching my phone, waiting for the text to see that they did get there all right. And I hope I get to get over there while they're still over there. And
want to force them to come on camera, but yeah, I had a nice evening with them. They're nice people, and I hope they get there all right. And if you're watching this, and you've watched the other part of this episode where I'm talking about the curry and stuff, thank you again for like the internet and what was going to be a really, really, really miserable time maybe at Anchor, where I didn't know if I'd have internet and everything else. You guys helped a lot, so thanks for that, and I hope you're enjoying your trip to Corsica.
Okay, so thank you for watching this week's video. As always, this is probably queued. I've probably already recorded it before other things have happened, but thanks for watching. The aim is to try get through these videos of the winter so we can catch up with the summer basically and where I am now. So I might post the videos a bit more frequently for that reason. In next week's episode, we continue to try and make some progress whilst out at Anchor. But yeah, stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching. Subscriber count, we're on 520, and we are like halfway-ish towards monetization. And if you've watched this before, you'll know that when I do reach monetization, the idea is I want this channel to, any money made through YouTube AdSense, to go towards some good causes. I'm still trying to work out exactly how I'll do it, because I looked into registering my own good cause and it was very difficult. But that is the aim for the channel, as it always has been, and we're about halfway to getting there. So thanks to everyone who subscribed and watched the videos. If you'd like to support on Patreon or Coffee, the links are somewhere on the profile, usually in the description as well. If you click on it and it's not working, let me know, because someone said the other week that the link just wasn't working. But if not, give the video a like, subscribe if you haven't done already, and stay tuned for more. If you didn't check it out already, there's a video that I'll post the link to here of what's in store coming up in the summer. So it'll show that the boat, it makes progress eventually. It's slow, but it does make progress. But I don't want to miss out showing you all of the parts. So if it's slow, I could try and put loads of stuff together in videos dead quick, but then I won't be showing you everything, and I want to show you everything. So I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.